I witnessed my friend die, but then he appears alive. Billy, Chester, and I had always been best buddies since we met in the first year of high school. We were just regular third-year high schoolers, having fun, just like any other people like us did, or so we thought. That day, the three of us were hanging out on the hill near our school. We had been there countless times. People camped there every now and then in the summer. It was a sunny summer day. It hadn't been raining for the past few days. We did what teenage boys our age did every time we went up that hill, running around, screaming at the top of our lungs. Then something unexpected happened. Billy stood near the edge of the cliff, peeking downward to see what was below. "Come on, man, let's go back to my house," Chester said to Billy. "We'll have lunch at my place today. Your mom's cooking is one of the best, I should say," I responded. "Don't you guys dare leave without me," Billy said as he turned around to face us and took a step forward when suddenly the ground beneath him cracked and gave way. A landslide happened right before Chester's and my eyes. Before Billy even realized what was happening, he fell along with it. "Billy!" Chester and I shouted in fear and panic as we saw him fall and disappear from our sight. We ran as close as possible to the edge and peeked downward. We couldn't see him from up there. Determined to find him, we decided to go down by foot in the safest way possible. It took us a while, but we made it. What lay in front of us was Billy's body, crushed from the waist down by a boulder that had fallen with him just seconds earlier. Blood flooded the soil around him. Billy didn't move. Losing that much blood, it didn't seem like he would survive. "Billy!" I called out slowly, hoping for a response. Nothing. We were third-year high school students. This wasn't something we were used to seeing. We didn't dare get any closer. "What do we do?" Chester asked, panicked. "We find Billy's parents." "We tell them," I said. "We can't just stay quiet. It was an accident anyway. It wasn't our fault." "But what do we tell them?" "Billy died, crushed by a falling boulder?" Chester said. "I don't know, man," I responded. "First things first, we go to his house." And just like that, we ran as fast as we could toward Billy's house. Chester and I had been standing across the street from Billy's house for half an hour, trying to figure out how to break the news to his parents. Word by word, my hand was shaking as I reached out to press the doorbell. Ding-a-ling! A few seconds passed, seconds that felt like forever, until we heard the sound of the door lock clicking open. I was ready to tell Billy's mom and dad the moment they opened the door. The door creaked open, and someone stood behind it. But it wasn't Billy's mom or dad. It was someone who wasn't supposed to be there. "Billy?" Chester and I shouted in unison. "Oh, hey guys, where are we going today?" he asked casually, as if nothing had happened. "Billy?" Chester called out. Confusion was clearly visible on his face. "Yeah, what's up? Why are you here?" Billy laughed. "It's my house, man. Of course I'm here." "No, I mean, didn't we hang out at the hill just an hour ago?" "No, I just woke up, man," Billy replied calmly. "Are you guys okay?" He looked genuinely concerned. Chester was about to say something, but I quickly intercepted. "We're good?" "Yeah," I said. "Chester just came over to my house to send some stuff from his parents to mine, and I was about to walk him back home." "Just walk him home? Can I join?" Billy asked. "Just walk him off, and then I'll go straight home. My mom asked me to come back immediately. She's got something I have to help her with," I said, making an excuse. "Huh, not fun," Billy said. "Let me know when you guys have a plan to hang out later." "For sure, we will. Bye, man," I said, tugging Chester's jacket, signaling him to walk away immediately. "What the hell was that?" Chester complained once we were far enough from Billy's house. "You saw it, right? Billy was crushed to death by a boulder, blood everywhere, soaking the soil?" I asked. "As a matter of fact, I did." "Then who the hell were we just talking to?" Silence. Chester had no response. "What do you have in mind?" he finally asked. "We go back to where we saw Billy's body," I said. "He was crushed. He shouldn't have gotten out so easily, let alone safe and sound. We just saw him at home, so now we go back to the hill, see his dead body, and call his parents from there. There must be an explanation," Chester agreed. But the second we set foot at the site, we saw something we didn't expect. Or more accurately, we saw nothing. The boulder was there. The pool of blood was there. The shirt Billy was wearing when the boulder crushed him was there. But Billy's body was missing. Billy's dead body was the only thing that was gone. "Fuck," I muttered. "Where did he go?" "Home," Chester murmured softly, barely audible. "Not funny," I replied sarcastically. "So what do we do now?" Chester asked. "There's no body, nothing to report. Worse, people would say we're crazy," I said. "So I don't know. Maybe we just go home, take a nap, and wake up a few hours later realizing that the accident was just a dream." "I don't see any other option," Chester agreed. "You and Chester having a clash with Billy or what?" my father joked the second I entered the house. I frowned. "You three are always seen together, if not alone." "Can't remember seeing just the two of you hanging out," my dad explained. "You saw us? And some neighbors too, yeah?" I was sure my parents would laugh at me, but I was curious about what they thought, so I told them everything that had happened earlier that day. My parents stared at each other for a while after I finished. They didn't look like they were about to laugh. They didn't even look surprised. I was the one surprised when I heard what they discussed right in front of me. "Is there any way we can prevent them from asking that same question every time this happens?" my dad asked my mom. "I'm tired of explaining the same thing over and over." "The protocol never said you have to," Mom replied calmly. "I know, but the scientist in me keeps urging me to explain things whenever people ask." "I feel you, babe, but push through. You'll get used to it." I did. I was stunned. I truly didn't understand what they were talking about. "Mom? Dad? What actually happened? Do you know something?" I asked, feeling an inexplicable sense of dread. "Andrew," my dad spoke again, "we're not your parents." I froze. "You're still explaining," my mom interjected calmly. "I can't help it. I'll make it short," Dad responded, then turned back to me. This small town, Andrew, is a research facility designed to create and develop clones. Clones? I muttered. Who? You, Chester, Billy. All the kids in this town. Every adult here is a scientist assigned to monitor the development of the children, all of whom are clones. You and all the children in this town are clones. No exception, Mom added. All the children? Clones? There are a lot of children here, I gasped. Why? How? For what? Organ harvesting, Mom answered, still eerily calm. This town is part of a massive ongoing clone project, which in the end is meant to be an organ farm created using clones. Organ transplants are expensive. This project would make them much cheaper. We're about to save more lives, Dad explained. You mean I'll be killed? I asked in horror. At some point, yeah, for a good reason. But you're just a clone. The real kid whose DNA was used to create you lives in another town somewhere. Dad pulled open a drawer and took out something that looked like a joystick with a button on it. Stay calm, he said. I'll push this button and you'll have a heart attack, die, and slowly turn into dust. This won't hurt, I promise. We'll then regenerate another clone of you. I watched as Dad pressed the button on the joystick-like device he held. Nothing happened. You see, the signal light is off. The battery is dead, Mom said to Dad, as calm as ever. The battery of whatever device was supposed to kill me had died. I didn't waste a second. I sprang from the couch and bolted out of the house with all my might, running as fast as I could. The last thing I heard as I rushed out the door was a threat from the man I had always thought was my dad. Don't make this any more difficult, Andrew. We'll find you.